In the studio with Chris and DJ RecBoys Shot. You know we in the stew, in the streets or in the booth. Get in tune, click and view, and get into the interview. Behind the scenes of all your dreams and everyone you listen to. Underground or on the scene, you might catch a gem or two. 845 or worldwide, digital or physical. On the block or in the news, we understand we did it too. Promote yourself or get a budget. Gotta learn the do's and doesn't. Gotta learn when to bet it. If we said it, you could trust it. Cause you're now in the studio with Chris and DJ RecBoys Shot.
What's goody, my peoples? You already know DJ RecBoys Shot, the homie Chris in the studio. We back at it. What's shaking, homie? How you feeling, man?
Oh, my bad. I ain't looking at the screen. I'm over here sharing, getting ready and shit. You already know, bro. Blessed. Glad to be back still. Honestly speaking, really on a high still from last week. Last week was crazy. How you felt after the show?
No, I felt real good, man. I felt really, really good. It's weird because we had so much stuff going on that I didn't really get an actually chance to let it all sit back and let it all sink in. But nah, it was definitely a dope show. When I really sat down and really thought about it, it was like, holy snap, man. Like we actually put some people in the 845 in a nice position. So definitely a dope show. How you felt about it? You thought he picked a good three?
I thought both times. Honestly, I thought we picked some dope producers, some hungry producers, some hardworking producers, some talented producers. You know what I'm saying? It was just, for me, it was so when you're working on something and you're in the mix of building it and putting everything together, you don't get to enjoy it. You know what I mean? You really don't get to see what it meant and what it was until it was after and it was all said and done. You know what I mean? And for me, it was just that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of had an idea. We spoke about it. We felt like we were doing something good, something positive, something to help people. You know what I mean? And it didn't really hit me to after. To people hit me up like, yo, did you realize? And I'm like, yo, damn. It was crazy to even be able to be a part of something like that and to bring something like that to the table. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you, I'm still on the high today from it. Like, you know what I mean? Even I just spoke to Amadeus this morning, you know what I mean? So to all the producers who actually won, he is gonna be, reaching out, he's gonna be giving me some contact info. Should I say I will be passing out the contact info when he tells me to. That night he said he was going through some stuff, you know what I mean? He was very honest, you know what I mean? So just be patient, it is gonna happen. Salute to that man. Hope everything, works out, goes in his favor. But like I said, man, I'm still on a high, honestly, bro.
Nah, yo, listen, it was dope. And I'm actually looking forward to the next one because I think the next one is gonna be super dope. It seems like the first one was dope. The second one was even doper. You get what I'm saying? So when he announces who he's actually working with, once we do that one, then we can go ahead and start working on the next one, which I'm very excited for. I'm very excited for some other things that we got in the works, especially the virtual concert. That's going to be dope. And
let's touch on that real quick before we get into the videos and all that. Real quick, everybody, if you could like, share, comment. We got the homie Noetic EZY Money out of California. You know what I mean? Born and raised, I believe, in Newburgh, now resides in California. Dope artist, you know what I mean, / producer. He's going to be on the show somewhere around 7:30. So definitely keep it locked for that. But let's talk about this event we got coming up the 28th. Before we jump into the videos, break it down a little bit for the people and for the artists tuned in who might want to be involved in future ones, or maybe even get in this one if we still have some room.
All right, check it out. What we're doing is a virtual concert where I asked a few artists to let us know if they would be interested in actually performing live on the show. Shout out to Gabe real quick. Shout out to the homie Stitches. But and what we're gonna do is on the 28th, we're gonna bring this live performance of all the artists wherever they're in their element, live and to you guys from wherever they're at during our show. So it's definitely gonna be super, super dope. We got a lot of great different artists. We got a couple R&B artists that's interested. We got I want to say probably the best out of the 845 hip hop wise, rapper wise, that wants to link up. And I know you working on a special guest. I don't know if you
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
I
No, I ain't forget. I ain't forget. I've been talking to a couple of people. We're gonna see how that tunes out. We it may or may not work out. You know what I mean? We're gonna see how it plays out though. I've definitely been speaking to a couple of people. We'll see how that plays out. But as far as artists, so real quick. So basically what we're doing is we're gonna bring the show right to you live in your living room. You know what I mean? So these artists are gonna be able. It's gonna be one of two things, right? These artists gonna have to get creative. That's number one. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to um set the
yeah,
ambiance, set the
the
tone. You know what
ambiance.
I'm saying? The
Yeah.
ambiance. You could do it in your bathroom. You could do it in your car. You could do it wherever. But this is gonna show how creative you are as an artist. You know what I mean? Not only writing your music and maybe directing your videos or producing your beats, but this shows that you in times like this. You know what I mean? Your mind's still running, you still thinking, and some people. I've been talking to a couple artists. Some of them talking about renting studios just for it. Some of them talking about doing some special stuff in their home. You know what I mean? To what's called a lighting wise, backdrops, all type of stuff like that. So in these times, man, we gotta be creative. You know what I mean? Because we kind of locked down, we limited.
Fuck yeah. Yo, listen, get your little brother involved, get your sister involved, get your mama involved. No different from a TikTok video, except you'll be doing it live in front of our audience. And you'll be getting live feedback. You'll be able to interact with your with the audience. You know, you'll get live feedback from the people that's tuned in. So it's definitely gonna be a dope show. Like I said, we got a lot of artists lined up, a lot of dope artists. So I'm excited. I'm also excited about the all the affiliate podcast show. I think that's gonna be super dope. You know, we got the ladies from In the Field Radio. We got Gabe. Absolutely, Gabe's gonna be super dope. We got Gabe
No, you know
and
what's crazy? You know what's crazy is I don't it'd be dope to have both of them on at one
well,
time.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
we're gonna try to make it happen. That's my thing. I want.
Well,
I
it's up
mean,
to them. You know what I'm saying? The invitation's
yeah.
there. We opening the door for both of them, Black and Gabe. You know what I'm saying? However they want to do it. But yeah, it's gonna be my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. What's the other podcast we got?
We got Stitches from Brutally Honest. Shout out to Stitches. He always holds us down. And we got the guys from Too Humble, DJ, and I think the homie Anthony. But yo, did you check their show when they had Benny B up there?
I seen bits and pieces. I've been going back and checking it out. The kid, from what I seen though, the kid went crazy. Shout out to homie Benny and shout out to homie Bump J. Shout out my cousin Damien. Getting into the entrepreneur world. Salute to that man, trying to get out there and do business. You know what I mean? But yeah, the kid went crazy.
Yeah, shout out to them, man. They actually had a good, dope show. Their numbers was clicking. A lot of people were tuned in, a lot of commenting, and that's what we like to see. We like to see the when podcasts have guests and their fans and their friends and family are actually tuning in and
Yo,
tapping in. What up?
I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to talk my shit while everybody in here. Brutally Honest in here, Finally TV in here, In the Field Radio. I ain't see the homies from Too Humble, but so real quick to give everybody a summary what we're gonna do tonight. We got all these podcasts on. We got the conglomerate coming together. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna pretty much we're gonna battle it out video for video. You know what I mean? Me and Shy gonna pick some dope independent art videos. Each one of them, each entity, each podcast is gonna bring a set of videos. You know what I mean? And we need the people to tune in and let us know who's picking the dope joints, which ones you like, which one you don't like. You know what I mean? What you like about it, what you don't like about it. You know what I mean? And that part of it's for the artist, you know what I'm saying? But the other part is kind of like a little competition between the podcasts, you know what I mean? Some of them might know some dope artists that they got some videos they want to get on, you know what I mean? We might know some, you know what I mean? So it's gonna be crazy. What I'm interested to see, a lot of us mess with the same artists, right? So I'm
Yeah.
interested to see if we so happen to pick the same joint. That would be crazy.
Stitches is on it. He said he coming for me. Yo, Stitches, yo, listen, listen, Linda, listen. It's gonna be interesting. I think I think Stitch might actually bring some pain. But yo, listen, remember this is all independent artists, so you're gonna have to do your research, people. And because we all know the same, you might want to go outside the box. And our box is kind of big. You know, Noetic, he's from Cali, right? He out in Cali.
Yeah, he out in Cali. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
so
in the field, I'm sure in the field radio, no Noetic. I'm sure finally TV might have no Noetic or know of him. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be it's gonna be a dope. One, the interaction gonna be crazy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
We're gonna be talking crazy to each other about the videos. You know what I mean? My pick. So it's gonna be crazy that way. And just showing the interaction and showing the people who support each one of these individual entities. You know what I mean? That it ain't about I, you know what I mean? It's about us. The power is in numbers. So as we group up and show the people, not only us, you know what I mean, and them, but we showing them that together we are forced to be reckoned with. And we still do our own thing, you know what I mean, in similar lanes. Like we still drive similar cars, but we get to our destinations how we get to our destinations, right? So that's the beautiful part about it for me. You know what I mean? And hopefully the people could enjoy that.
Nah, yo, listen, it's gonna be super dope. Fuck all that. It's gonna be super dope. Like I said, it's gonna be clash of all the medias. So it's gonna be like the guys from Finally TV. They bring me things. Stitches. You know, he has a hell of a female following. And then you got
Yo,
Aaron.
you see him, right? He go with a three-piece on the show. Like you gotta salute
Yo,
that
Chuck,
man. He take
listen,
his
these
shit
niggas are
serious.
different
He go with the three-piece
animals,
with the hat,
like
with the
Fedora and all of
vest.
that. Nah,
Yeah,
yo,
yo, bow tied up. Like, yo, he's
all of that,
serious.
all of that. I'm looking for that Bully on his bow tie. I'm gonna tune in and answer everything as soon as you talk about he giving out one of them.
No. Matter of fact, yo, Stitches, we need a percentage on that. That was a good marketing tool right there. You know what I mean? Yeah. I
Nah, we
believe
send
Chris was very
invoices. We
sincere.
send invoices out.
I
Don't even
believe,
worry about it. He get it right in the mail. Get that right in the mail, homie,
yeah.
with the tax ID number. We not playing no
Yo,
games.
I remember when I first started following the podcast, brutally honest, right? I'm tuning in, checking it out, and I'm like, yo, damn, when he going to the prom and shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
then I seen it and I'm like, yo, his believing, you know what I mean, and his research, you know what I mean, and his love for what he does. That shit just projects to you through the camera. You know what I mean? It makes you it like draws you in. It's crazy. You know what I mean? And the same thing with every other podcast and in the field radio. They on FM radio, right? So they like a little
yeah,
bit up than where
yeah.
we at. You
No,
know what I'm saying? And where everybody else is at. But just to it's humbling, bro. Honestly, you know what I mean? Because we in this competitive thing called music. You know what I mean? Industry
right,
or entertainment. You know what I mean? Where it has to be cutthroat, but it really don't. But so let's get in some joints, man. What we got? What you want to get first? Burl
right.
dropped a new joint that you got. You got the other artist, Frank. Damn, I forgot his name. You remember the
Peso.
name? Yeah. Peso.
I
You
got
know what I'm saying?
peso. I got I'm gonna get into my homie Bird Dollar first. That's the one I wanna get into. That Be a Witness. That joint. I'm not even gonna talk about it. I just wanna get into it and we take it from there.
Yo,
And
real quick, while you queuing that up, real quick. Shout out the homie. Oh, he said it right there. Peso
Peso
Pack.
Pack.
Shout out the homie
Got him.
Peso Pack. But shout out the homie Burl Dollar, right? You know what I'm saying? This man, I knew him for quite some time. You know what I mean? Always been a hard worker. You know what I mean? Always been consistent with his craft. You know what I mean? Never shortchanged himself. You know what I mean? And he's kind of reaping the benefits now. You know what I'm saying? Like everything's
Yeah.
coming to fruition for him. You know what I mean? And it's years
Yeah.
and years and years of hard work. So to see where he's at now is dope. You know what I mean? To have watched the rise. You know what I mean? Of where he came from to where he's at now.
Now, you already know. Let's get into it. DJ RecBoys, shout out to homie Chris in the studio. Don't move. We'll be right back. We're gonna get into the Bird Dollar joint. What is it called? Be a Witness.
Y'all
This
need to like, share, comment, share this shit to all your groups. Invite your friends, invite your auntie, your cousin, brother, sister, uncle, moms, pops, grandmother, grandfather. Invite the whole family. Invite all your peoples. Tune in, give these artists some feedback. Don't forget, we got Noetic, aka EZY Money, coming on around 7:30, all the way from Cali. Right now, we got the homie Burl Dollar.
Let's get it.
I'm grown, man, I'll never settle and let you carry me. I see you driven, but I'm flying. We ain't the same, I got here in better timing. I swear to God, this is overdrive. It's called flight school when you teach them how to fly. I used to hustle for Betty Brightlands and True Religion. Now it's bust down rollies, Barneys, and big Benzes. Big business, our nigga really in it. They talk that hustle, but it's different when you really live it. They hate a nigga living, don't want you in position. You'd be surprised the ones that fear the day they see you winning. These niggas poses and I see the bigger picture. Always doing sucker shit and get mad about the switch up. Fuck staying down, I had to get up. That ain't your man if he ain't tryna level with ya. Some ain't gonna make it, know your Judas, boy, that scripture. These niggas say they hold you down, don't want you bigger. Hey, fuck them niggas, keep your shot, don't let them switch ya. These niggas fake, they love to hate until you richer. So keep on grinding, it takes timing. Don't let them trick you out your spot, these streets is grimy. I came a part of that project, do you remember me? That little boy with ambition, just ask Auntie T. Turned a little into something. I'm living proof niggas' opinions mean nothing. I was raised amongst go-getters, real stay woke niggas, not you joke niggas. We had to grind for every dollar, we was broke nigga. Procrastination gets you nowhere, time to go nigga. These niggas see you gifted, still they wanna twist it. My grandma said if it ain't broke, it ain't no sense to fix it. I'm trying to see a bill like EZY off a rap, and I can't follow you, ain't leading me to that. Niggas that brag about bringing food won't teach you how to eat. Rather you teach me how to hunt than keep on feeding me. Fuck sharing yours, I need my own, I found a way for me. A grown man, I'll never settle and let you carry me. A grown man, I'll never settle and let you carry me.
What's good in my peoples? You already know DJ RecBoys shot the homie Chris in the studio. We back at it. You already know who that was. That was the big homie Bird Dollar. Be a witness. What you thought about that, homie?
Nah, that's my shit. Yo, he sticks true to himself, you know what I mean? He makes dope music, you know what I mean? Hard working, like I said, talented, you know what I mean? So I fuck with him. I actually had the chance to be in the studio with him a few times, you know what I mean? So I got to witness, you know, how the man thinks, how, you know what I mean, how he correlates his stuff, how he puts his stuff together, you know what I mean? You know, I fucks with him as an artist, real talk.
Yo, he sent some
Yeah, he sent the pack. Yeah, he sent the pack, yeah.
Fuego in the motherfucking email, my nigga. I was like, God damn, bro. But I've been watching Son since like he caught my ear. I don't want to say since styling on me, but nah, that styling on me joint, him and Motif, them niggas blank together.
They make magic when they link, really.
Yeah.
It's this ain't a Motif joint, I don't believe. But
nah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so either. But
when they link, bro, that shit is crazy. And for artists, real quick, you trying to get your music, your video heard, you know what I mean? Put the link in the inbox. If we got time, we'll get to it this show. Now we'll play it next. You could always email it to us at inthestudioCre@gmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, In the Studio with the RecBoys. Like the Facebook page. Go check us out on Instagram, Catch a Rec Entertainment, INC. You know what I mean? Definitely just keep it locked, keep it tuned. We got a bunch of interviews. Friday, we got Gossip Viv coming on from Distance 50. Also been on Love Hip Hop. Also been on VH1. A bunch of places. So Friday, we got her coming on. We had to open, you know what I mean? I hit up like, yo, we need this interview, right? She's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, yo, we booked to December. You know what I mean? So what's good with January? She's like, yo, what? Like, that's not going to work. You know what I mean? I'm like, so fuck it. Let's do it Friday. She's like, all right. You know what I mean? And she knows that, you know, we only go Wednesday. You know what I mean? So for her to, you know, she's like, yeah, I appreciate it. You know what I mean? I'm like, nah, I appreciate you taking the time out to come on the show. So we got Gossip Viv coming on Friday, 7 p.m. Make sure y'all tune in for that, because that's going to be crazy. You know, she kind of do what we do as well on the FM radio side. You know what I'm saying? And this is 50. So to be able to pick her brain, it's going to be crazy.
Nah, I was doing my research on her, and I definitely want to sit down and talk to her. She's also an author.
Right.
She wrote a really dope book, and I want to get into that on the show. I'm gonna save that for the show. But nah, she's a personality, you know. So she's been around a couple people. She's interviewed some real good people. She works at This Is 50. So she's been on VH1's reality show. They did a show with all the the gossip chicks. So I think it's definitely going to be dope and definitely going to be interesting. So I'm definitely, and it's a new night. It's a Friday night. So I don't know. Maybe
Normally, normally we go once a week, but we honestly been blessed, bro. Like we really, no lie, I think I only have one date left in December, and I gotta hit this guy up who just hit me up earlier. You know what I'm saying? So he might take that date. So we really locked in all the way to the end of December right now. You know what I mean? So if you tuned in, you trying to get an interview, hit us up now. But we book it for January right now. Like, so make sure we lock that in. Don't wait too much further. You know what I mean? 2021 right here around the corner.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. I got a guest. So what you want to do? You want to jump into the video real quick and then pull our guest in, and we take it from there, and then we play the. That's what you want to do?
Yeah. Let's play this video real quick. And then we got the homie Noetic all the way from Cali. We'll bring him on right after the video. If y'all could like, share, comment, invite your people, let them know, tune in. We got the homie Noetic from Cali, born and raised Newburgh, I believe, the Poughkeepsie area. We're gonna find that all out. We're gonna let him tell you exactly who he is. You know what I mean? So, who we got here? We got what we got?
We got his video. We're gonna play his video before we bring him on. That way the people can see the video and then go ahead and speak to the homie while he's here live. That way we ain't gotta worry about playing it after and him chiming in. He can say all his good stuff right then and there. So that's what you want to do?
Let's get it.
All right, you already know DJ RecBoy shot the homie Chris in the stew. If you could like, share, comment. This is the homie Noetic. Let us know what you think. All right, easy.
Swear the fall was amazing, was off getting faded, was lost till I made it back all alone. No calls and no favors, that's all cause of late. I've been solving equations like 101. That 101, that 101, that 101, that 101, that 101, that 101.
Touch more white squares than Michael and Billie Jean. For they pipe dreams, walk around with that bag on me like sightseers. Days got so dark, black in my heart. Dumbing out, driving OT, no lick like it's smart. Torn apart by keen memory. A pots that boil with work that's ordered East Bay with a triple beam. Thought it was the strength of me, contrary is killing me. More liquor to sip, thought Hennessy might be healing me. Nah, dealing with demons, scary movie with the smile that I'm wearing. Smokers until shit take off like Ferris on guard. Devil in my spirit for green dollars. Mom's holler, sorta like Marvin, her mirror deserve a damn Oscar. For the role she played in saving my life. Living with strife before the clout, they might kill me tonight. So I'm peeking over my shoulders, watching hands as they closer. Loving more than myself, ain't no comedy when they roast you.
Swear the fall was amazing, was off getting faded, was lost till I made it back all alone. No calls and no favors, that's all cause of late. I've been solving equations like 101. That 101, that 101, that 101, that 101, that 101, that 101.
They say time to tell niggas telling for time. Still smell the fume in my lines. Cotton in the club, they tapping in like I'm Gregory Hines. Real hustlers change and go by their first name. Invest and make it stretch like it's warming up for the first game. Law still don't love us, part of the struggles. Niggas put a hole in you way faster than they will hug you. Emotions of a hater, ain't no controlling behavior. From a soul of starvation and family that never saved you. Six around to see the devil viral. Niggas hate to see you get it, rather be your rival. See the rich, watch the poor living suicidal. State of living prone to it, think it's just your survival. Sam Cooke reappear in my dreams. Whispers are still the same. Waking up the blessings of bad bitch with my last name.
One was amazing, was off getting faded, was lost till I made it back all alone. No calls and no favors, that's all, cause of late I've been solving equations that one no one. That one no one, 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 that one no one.
What's goody, my peoples? You already know DJ RecBoys. Shout out to homie Chris in the studio. We back at it. That was the homie Noetic, and like I promised, here we go. What's goody, homie?
What's good? How you?
You know, what's shaking? You know, same old, that one-on-one. You know, that fire, nigga, what's happening, man? How you feeling, man?
Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity, man. You know, this probably wouldn't even happen if it wasn't for Drawzilla. First of all, that's how I met Rec. You know, tapping in with Speak for Yourself. You know, and you know, me personally, I'm just here to just bring a different energy. You know, hip hop shit. You know, a lot of people. You know, a lot of times right now it's a different climate when it comes to music. It's all types of different climates out there, you know, and I'm just kind of trying to create my own. It's just like, you know, real life stories, you know what I'm saying, and what's going on. So that's what I'm here to talk about, for real.
No, that's dope, because that's what actually drew me to you when I seen you on the Drawzilla joint, you know what I mean? And he played your record. I'm like, damn, hold on, let me go check him out. And I started checking you out, and I'm like, I hit Draws. I'm like, yo, he dope. He like, nah, yo, he's super sad. I'm like, I know, I can hear it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what drew me to you. But for everybody tuning in real quick, introduce yourself. You know what I mean? Let them know who you are.
Nah, yeah, my name is Noetic, man. I go by Noetic_MDT, you know, on IG and Twitter and all that. You know, I represent the upstate 845 Tree City, Beacon, New York all day. And you know, I'm an artist that's been in so many different cities and states, so many sounds involved in my sound, and I've been adding and consistent with, you know, bringing good quality music to the stage and to the camera and to the game. So I'm just still trying to press the envelope, you know, and putting good content out there, you know, that kind of still relates to what hip hop, you know, was created from.
Nice. So damn, you from Beacon originally?
Yeah, I'm from Beacon originally, yo. Real talk.
I mean, how does that work up there? Because I know you guys don't. Not too many people say Beacon. I mean, they say the bird, or you know.
Yeah. So the dope thing about it is that, like, my mom's was from Beacon, my pops was from the Bird. So you know, growing up, you know, they was in the streets heavy. So I had to stay in Beacon with my grandparents. So I would go stay with my parents on the weekends in Newburgh, whether they lived on Liberty Street, South Street, South Lander Street, Bencart. So I was staying over there. So most of the time when I would get a different view in the life when I went to the Burg. You know what I mean? And when I was going to the Burg, my pops, you know, he was real heavy in the hustle and into the music game too. My pops was a big time DJ out there in Newburgh, New York, period. New York all around. Like, a lot of people know him. He was big time in the 80s. His name was Kid Nice. You know what I mean? So, you know, he come from, you know, doing shows with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, all that good stuff. So I kind of came up in the game early. So, like, everywhere I was at, I'm in the back seat. He bumping, you know, whether it's Rob Bass, all these records that, you know, growing up, I don't really know what it's about. But as you seeing it from the back seat and hearing it at the same time, you develop this liking for hip hop regardless. Like, you know, and it's different for some people because people probably a little bit older than me, they grew up on the soul and stuff like that. See, for me, kids my age or whatever that came in the game, I grew up on hip hop. So my parents is fans of hip hop. So that gives you like a, you know, an extra, I would say like a extra knowledge though to bring to the game. Cause like my pops wouldn't let me not know who certain artists was. Like, for instance, I remember the first time he played the Akinelli record and I was young. And this is when Akinelli used to have that flow. He'd be like, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he would be like, nah, he official. He from Queens. And like, without that, I would have never known who Akinelli was. And then I ended up DJing, and the first record I got was like Put It In Your Mouth or Love You For Free or something like that. And then that's when I started to be like, oh, you know, it's a little bit different. So, you know, coming up in Beacon, there was nowhere. Well, my pops and them, they had like a little club early in the days, like a little club, like the first club, like that was a hip hop club. But most of the time when you try to start some shit like that in towns like that, little cities, they get that up out of there, because back then, you know, that create the shootings, the fightings, the violence.
A whole bunch of stuff.
So businesses usually stay away from that. They don't want that kind of energy. So as I started DJing and doing gigs, we didn't have nowhere to do it. So I would get booked at my local community center, right? So I would tell the whole high school, and they would tell people they knew from out of town, hey, yo, come to this community center. We had it every Friday from 8 to 12. Luckily, my man, Mr. Biggs, right? He was the one that ran it, and he would pay me. He would like keep it open longer for us. So he would let me rock from 8 to like 2 in the morning, whatever it was, as long as we wasn't starting no trouble, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I started to really like hone into like, you know, knowing how to rock a party. You know, I was going down to Rock and Soul at the time to get records. The only record store around the way was in Newburgh. It was called DMU, right? I don't know if any of y'all know that, but a DJ used to work in there, DJ Ravi. So he used to put me on to like white labels. I didn't know what white labels was. So those was like bootleg records that wasn't even up, whatever. So I used to go to Rock and Soul, and I started to hone my skills with that. And then like around the time I was like 16, I started to notice there was nowhere for hip hop besides the community center. So that's when I decided, you know what, let me go into the music lane. And I started rapping and whatever. Then I noticed there wasn't nobody really taking rap serious in my area neither. There was like one group, they were a little older than me. They were called Neighborhood Threat. I would see they stickers all over the place. And my man Ali too, Ali, the one that's over in France right now. That's the first person I ever recorded a record with too. I was like 14 years old in the studio. That's the first person I ever got my first opportunity with. So big shout out to him. But so I started to create my own team. So by doing that, you know, back then we was just really in the streets, really, and using that popularity. My man had a studio, so that's how we would go in there, do like freestyles and all this bullshit. And then we started to notice that people was like fucking with it. So we created a team, and I knew we didn't have nowhere to perform. Like there was nowhere for us to perform. So I was like, well, you look at a couple businesses that wasn't making money at night, that needed money. I would go to them with money, like, yo, let me rent the bar area out from 9 to 2, and I'll give you this amount of money, whatever. You let us get everything. And they was with it because it was bringing in so much money. So then that's how I was able to build my name up in Beacon, and then it was spread from Newburgh to Poughkeepsie, Peekskill, and then I was real connected with like all the DJs from everywhere. So I would have them come do my parties and play my records, and I perform. Because then they invite all their people. So then that's how, boom, then that's how I got mad people to start fucking with me.
You know, it's crazy. Real quick, I hope all the artists, DJs, actors, models, entrepreneurs, authors, everything. You see how my man just controlled the room, took over the whole podcast. He ain't telling us. I be telling artists all the time, yo, when you get an interview, that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? You're supposed to keep talking till they cut you off to ask you something else. And that was great because you just displayed that right there. And shout out to you. I used to tell my artists that all the time. Yo, don't just when they ask you a question, say, oh, and just be like, no, you keep going till they be like, oh, but how about, you know what I mean? So salute to you for taking over the room. That was dope. And I was sitting back admiring that shit because you don't see that. You don't see that much. But so you started off DJing, then you got in, you know, you started rapping. When did you start producing? How did that all come together for you?
That happened. So the group I had, the label we had, Block Fluid, right? I had an in-home producer. So we used to meet every Wednesday, Saturday was our studio times. So like we did that for about 5-6 years straight. And then like all of a sudden out of nowhere, he hit me up. He's like, yo, I'm moving to Florida. And like he told me like 2 weeks before he moving. And I'm like, huh? Like, and you know, that's my man or whatever. Like we ain't no love lost or nothing. But you know, at the time, it kind of lost me, like, because that was like part of my routine. Like that was part of my routine. I get my money on those days outside of that, but then I knew I had time to music and rap and whatever. But I always loved production, but it was always like I hated the time that came with it. Like I loved to just write and get up out of there. With producing and shit, it takes time and hours. Like even now, like with me producing today, it takes me longer to do a whole project because I produced the whole project. So like to do one record, I may have an idea, but then that idea may fade to that beat, and you want to send it to somebody else, and then you just keep playing back and forth with yourself mentally. So my brother, so once my man Questo moved, I started just fucking with the like sound click and going on YouTube, beats like and all that bullshit. And I was like, but you got all these tags on it, you don't own it, you can't really make no money off it. I'm like, why am I gonna waste my time doing that when I could sit here and make an album for myself and collect all the bread for it myself and spend it, just take the time. The time is, more important to me. I think like, when making records, I think it's better to focus on really what you truly want from that sound and to be able to have control of that sound. When you have other producers sometimes, like today, niggas be sending records, ain't no kind of organic feeling or relationship within the record. So an album gonna sound like just sent a bunch of shit. It's not a story, it don't flow together, it don't mesh. So like that's why you get so many albums that's so easy to just listen to once and run through it and like, it was all right, what's the next one? Like, so that's why I take, for instance, like, the Victory Lap album, and I try to go after that with everything that I do too, from the production standpoint. It's like most of it is done by the same people. So when I even do albums with others, I like to work with one or two producers and that's it. I don't like for the sounds to stray too far from each other, because then you get a whole bunch of gumbo that don't sound like a project. It sound like a mixtape. That's what a mixtape is. A mixtape was niggas over a bunch of beats and you just spit on it. That's what albums be sounding like today. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you want an album, you got to take your time, develop the story, the angle, the idea, what you're trying to come from, what kind of story you're trying to tell. Because as with albums, you got to go through something in life. You know what I mean? And you can't tell me you go through something every 3 months.
Yo, real quick though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think that's what it is though? Because it seems like right now in this day and time, the people who sit back and actually take the time with creating work get criticized because it takes forever and it's not really appreciated. You got to remember, in this day and time, everything is instant. So that's why you got people like Rainbow Color Hair Boy and all these other motherfuckers who can make something real simple and get a beat from this producer and make this producer hot. And it's like it's just a sound. It's not a vibe. It's not a
for me, it's important to know your place in hip hop though too. Like what you stand for. Like that's one thing you got to know off the gate. Like when you start your career, like one of the best questions somebody asked me, he was like, "Yo, so what do you want?" Like, and at first I was like kind of caught off guard. Like, damn, what do you mean what I want? He was like, "Well, what do you want from the rap game?" Like, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want to be known for? What do you want? Like, it ain't just about the money. Everybody could just make money. Like any Joe Schmo could come out and get a hit single and boom, he'd be gone. You know what I mean? Then what you gonna do after you get the single? Then everybody that you put that one single out gonna be asking you for that same type of music. Then when you ready to make a transition, now you getting pushback from the labels, from your fans, from all that. So it's better to know exactly who you are from the gate. So for me, when I say you take your time, I think with time you build a more organic fan base. They gonna stick with you. And then if you're nice enough, niggas gonna be featuring you on records to keep you relevant while your album is getting created. That's why having relationships is important. You look at Drake, he didn't drop an album last year, really, a real album, but he was on everybody's shit. You know what I'm saying? So
he was on a lot of Spanish shit. I know that shit. He was on. Drake is on a lot of Spanish music, man. I don't know if you paying attention. He getting that peso for real, man.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I didn't understand it until I started listening to that shit and paying attention in the shop. That nigga, he's on it.
But not to cross over your question though. But how I really got into the production part was my brother was a producer. My brother that passed away 2 years ago. He got me into the whole like, mess with this Fruity Loops, mess with the machine and all that stuff. He taught me how to sample, how to use everything. Like I always had a good ear for music, period. Like as soon as I listen to somebody's album, I know what the next single should be. Even though sometimes the labels do the wrong thing and I'll be like, why the fuck you put that out? This record way bigger. Like you could just tell if you know music, you could tell what songs will penetrate the game a little bit better, depending on the type of artist that it is and who they're like pushing their music to. You know, not everything is made to be commercial. Not everything is made to be a hit, but it can still be classic.
No, absolutely.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. I tell artists a lot all the time. You know, the world's bigger than your town, than your prospective area. You know what I mean? I heard you say you moved to a lot of different states. How do you think that played a part as you being an artist? You know what I mean? Going from different states that you in, because right now you in Cali, right?
I'm in Cali. Yep. I'm based in Inglewood, but I be all over this joint. You know, basically LA and all that. But so first off, I went from when I was born and raised. I moved to North Carolina when I was young first. Then I came back. Then I moved to Virginia. Then I came back. Then I was living in Albany. Then I came back down. Then I moved out here to Maryland, and I was like in the DC area real heavy. So then I came here, and with that, it made me develop an ear for different sounds. So it's like, you know, when being in DC, Maryland, they listen to a total different hip hop than we listen to. Even though you still got the people that listen to the regular mainstream stuff, but when you get a taste of go-go music, that adds another level of you to dig into when you producing and creating music. You know, a lot of people don't even know, like Jay-Z Do It Again, that hook is from a go-go song.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know that, but if you play the scenes, you would know that was a big song in DC. So with Jay-Z always talking about the Maryland, the whole East Coast pipeline, he knows if that's a big record down in DC, if I take that hook, it's gonna bring me reach to the VA and back. You know what I'm saying? That's a major aspect of hip hop music, is traveling. You know, when you play if you go to the Miamis, you go to the Houstons and stuff like that, you go to Chicago, you go to Louisiana, your ear will be a lot different. You know, you'll be able to hear different things when you're looking for samples. Like, you know, I've been to New Orleans once. You go in the clubs out there, everything is live music mostly, right? So when you go there, you hear certain records, you're like, oh, that shit tight. You go to whoever's playing, yo, what song is that? You got a sample right there. But that's part of, you know, researching and educating yourself on music all the time, though. It's not just, I look at hip hop, it's not just you being a rapper and people just being rappers. That's cool. That's an image they want to hold. Me personally, I like to be educated on rap, hip hop, period. So even when I'm not rapping, I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can wear different hats. Sometimes you don't make it as an artist. You may be better as an A&R. You may be a producer. You may be a manager. Like, you got to think about it. If you want to live this hip hop shit and you want to always be a staple in it, you got to look from so many different points of views and not just be one-sided. You know what I mean?
It's funny that you say that, because we started off as producers, and our goal was just to sell a couple beats, make a couple bands, take that, and then go leave the music and go somewhere else. Yeah. We had a whole nother fucking blueprint. This was just means, because we're like, yo, listen, we could do this. We listened to enough music to do this. And what ended up happening is we did it, and then one thing led to another, and 9 years later, this is what we're doing. Now, dude, we done had artists, we done produce records, we done did shows, we done, and this is the path that it took us to. So it's you know, you follow it. You got to be fluent in music if you want to actually be successful in doing it, because like you said, rapping might not be your angle. You may come up with a single,
and you could be nice. You could be nice as fuck. You know what I'm saying? It don't be that sometimes. Sometimes it's just like certain things are planned out for certain people. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, I'm like, you think there was only one Jordan in this world? There was somebody somewhere else that was killing like that. It just wasn't meant for that person. So you got to evolve yourself and keep trying to find exactly what's meant for you. So that's why you can't stop trying. You can't stop hustling. You know, you got to keep going and evolving as a person, because as you mentally evolve, what I tell people is like, you know, it's like when you young, right? The things that's fun to you then and to you now change. You know what I mean? It's about you. It's about you. You're still the same person, but mentally, you got to start evolving. You start looking at things differently. So that's how I look at the music game and shit. It's like, you can't just dwell on all the time, hey, I got to be this person that's in front of the camera. There's a lot of people making money behind it.
No, and
I think that's the issue sometimes, though, too. Everybody wants the glitz and the glamour, right? And they don't want to do the work that it takes to get to where it might be. And it might, you know, like you did, like you left your area, you moved to multiple places, you know what I mean? And I see a lot of dope talent. So, like, for me, I'm from Brooklyn, but I lived upstate New York, Monticello area, and then now I'm in Florida. You know what I'm saying? So I got to see, you know, the grimy shit, and then I got to go upstate, and I'm like, oh shit, this is what trees and grass look like. And then I come to Florida, I'm like, oh, look at these palm trees. This shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it evolved me in my mind as far as where we wanted to go. You know what I mean? So for you, I see that played a big part in you as an artist, producer, DJ as well. You know what I mean? So what advice can you give these artists? You know what I mean? Because Noetic is not no, you know what I mean? He's not no slouch by no means from what I've been seeing. You know what I mean? The work ethic, the videos you've been putting out, the amount of hard work. You know what I mean? The people you know, we haven't even touched on that. You know what I mean? Because like you said, your pops was in the game. You know what I mean? You had some heavy hitters in your own house. You know what I mean? So
definitely.
how did that play a part for you? How does that all gel together and you come up with where you at now, Noetic?
Well, mainly like I take everything. I'm a very observant person, right? You know, very observant. I got a very keen memory. So like I take everything that people teach me and I take it as lessons. You know what I'm saying? Even when people take L's, you know what I mean? I've watched a lot of people rise all the way up and fall. You know what I mean? And for me, I look at, well, why did they fall? What are they made? How can I do it differently? You know what I mean? What can I change to not be just like that story? You know, what makes, but at the same time, I got to focus on me and what I want for myself. So I think that's always been important to me because I wasn't always like I'm not like very big on the numbers thing. I'm more on quality. You know what I mean? I'm not on quantity. I'm more on quality. So I like to look at music like that. And there's a lot of artists I like. And if the artist is coming up, I always tell them, just be true to yourself. Like the moment you stop being true to yourself is the moment you start doing things for all the wrong reasons. So doing that, now you destined for failure. I don't care how much money you may run into. I don't care how much bread you run into. You still gonna be destined for failure, and you're gonna be unhappy, and then be like you're gonna have a struggle with being yourself. So that's the one thing you want to veer from because you know your mental health is important. And I see a lot of artists that they don't even know how to deal with life after once being known as a big artist, whether they had a platinum record or not. Like just being known as a big artist is a lot in itself, and being popular to go into you ain't shit. You know what I mean? Like now you somewhere alcoholic and all this stuff, and it's like hard for you to even swallow being yourself. You don't want to get to that point. So I tell all artists, focus on yourself and take everything that you see around you as a lesson, because that's how you're going to build yourself to be a bigger person than you ever was, and you could build others, because it's not just about you. You know, I think one thing that I don't think they allow hip hop to do enough, and they don't shine on enough, is how many of our OGs have helped hone a lot of these people into the people that they were. You know, and they might have took L's to even teach you that lesson, but that's still.
I mean, let me ask you this: do you think it's them not letting us, or us not wanting to tell people? Because the ego plays a part in it, right? Somebody helps you, you don't want to tell somebody, oh, yo, he just did such and such for me.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of the ego part, because like a lot of people, like, you know, as rappers or artists, you know, it's always cliche to say I built it from the bottom up. You know what I mean? Like I came from the bottom, I ain't had nothing and this, that. Nah, bro, you knew so-and-so was your next door neighbor. He taught you the ropes. He may not be on your paperwork, but he's how you are, the person you are, and the person you was watching, the OG you was growing up with that taught you so many lessons. Like all those people deserve flowers to me. You know what I mean? I don't leave people out my story. So when you listen to my music, you're gonna hear names of people. You be like, who the fuck is that? But for me, it's like it's not about them knowing that I'm giving them credit. It's just about me, honestly, as a person, that I like to give my story in all its truth. You know what I mean? So people can understand when they meet me. It's like, yo, he the same person he rap like. Like it ain't gonna be no difference. I don't want to ever feel non-approachable. I don't want you to feel like, damn, I gotta get this secret off on him. Nah, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. And you ask me a question, I'm gonna answer it. You know, that's how I was kind of built for the people that I brush shoulders with in life. You know, whether they dead, in jail, or whatever, or successful. I treat everybody equally and as lessons, because they all taught me something. So, you know, that's how I take advantage of having those kind of people in your life too. Like, though you can't just act like you did it all on your own, because that's very rare.
Right. Yeah. So yo, how's that California life? Because I went out there. I was in California last year, and I'm gonna tell you, yo, it's a vibe. It's different. I went out there and everybody like, yo, you going to LA? Yo, you going here? You going? And I'm like, no, I'm going to Inglewood. I'm going to Watts. I'm going, like, seriously, I was in every hood. My wife is like, yo, you really not going to LA? I'm like, maybe we'll go to the last day we here, but I really wanted to see the culture. You know what I mean? And I'll be honest with you, it was different.
It's the most important. Like for me, you know, that was one of the things that I always do. Like when I go into a new city, if I move there or whatever, or if I'm shaking and moving there, is that I go to the heart of those cities. Like, you know, I was outside, you know, marching with the whole Compton, you know, just a couple months back with Russell Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan, Kendrick Lamar, all these people, you know, Bloods, Crips, heavy big heads, you know what I mean? I'm out there walking with them. I ain't even from Compton. I ain't from nowhere over here. You know what I mean? But you still, real talk.
Nah, that shit serious. Nah, people don't understand how serious that is. Nah, real talk.
When people see you take that effort into being a part of their community, because you're gonna want to eat off that. If I'm out here, I'm gonna want them to buy my records. You know what I mean? I want to, you know, I was on the newspaper cover in Inglewood out here for what I do. You know what I'm saying? And just being a part of it and being from a total different side of this country. You know what I mean? And still trying to put that work in. That's important. You know, and LA is a different vibe. I'm not gonna lie. You know, to me, it's just, I feel I'm more free here. I feel more free. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you know, living in New York, I felt like, cause everything was just so cliquish in New York. Like, it's like, even when you go to the Bronx or Brooklyn or whatever, it's like you had to be with somebody. And if you, and like, especially with music, you know what I'm saying? Music is a very cliquish game. Like, regardless, niggas will be listening to your record all the time in the crib, but you pull up, they act like they don't fuck with you. You know, like stuff like that. I don't like stuff like that, because like me personally, if I like you, I'm gonna share your music. I'm gonna share it on my page. I'm gonna do whatever. Like, I don't think it shouldn't be I'm dick riding or nothing like that, because I'm showing you love. Like, how are we supposed to get anywhere if that's how everything is seen? People make it seem. So you got so many people out here that's fans of people, and this is across the board. They fans of people, but they can't act like they're a fan to other people, to you. You know what I mean? Like, what type of shit is that? Like, but you got everything in your jack, everything in your phone of my music, all my albums, you listening to it, you checking it out. Like, that's corny. You know what I mean? So it's like, it shouldn't be nothing wrong with showing love. And it shouldn't have to be that I got to be in your crew. I shouldn't have to be in your videos. I shouldn't have to be in the studio with you to say that, I respect this man's artwork, his work ethic or whatever. Like, that shit corny to me.
Yo, it's weird because I know there's a lot. I fucks with a lot of people, and I like a lot of variety of music. And there's some people that that I may not fuck with, but I love their music. And I to me, I have no. It's weird because I'll share the music or I'll listen to the music and be like, nah, this shit slap. And niggas be like, you don't even fuck with something. And I'll be like, yeah, but that don't mean that the music don't slap. Like, and it don't even be like I fucked with him because he told on somebody or he did some fuckboy shit. It just be like, he over there and I'm over here. That's why we don't fuck with each other. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
you know, I think it's important. I think overall it helps the game if we all were able to, you know, have more love for each other's, you know, work and art craft, whatever. And of course, there are some niggas that's garbage. Like, we ain't gonna sit here and lie. There is garbage out there, but anybody that's garbage, you could work on your craft and get with the right people and fix that. So we can't just write. I'm not gonna sit here and write everybody off that I don't like the way it sounds, because somebody else may like the way it sounds. So I'm not gonna take that credit away from you or make that a reason why you can't be around me or nothing like that. Nah, that's just you. But I think it's important for us to be honest about, you know, if we're fans of it, because not everybody that's a fan has the right to speak on music. That's one thing that we need to talk about too. That's a big issue for me, because I watch a lot of these podcasts and interviews, and I'm like, homie, you don't know nothing to be even talking to homie like that. Like, you don't even know nothing really. Like, you know, tell me something about artists in the 90s and 80s, and you telling me like your word is Grand Wizard right now. Like, nah, you can't do that, bro. Like, do your work, do your research, get your education up. Then you should be allowed to speak on hip hop as like a staple or a person that is valued. I think a lot of people get value in this game just off of being popular. That don't mean that you know your shit.
That's That's an interesting and strong ass point
No,
because
hold on, Shot. Hold on, because that's crazy. Because we had Taz from the Alcoholics on, and
That's my slime too. I fuck with him.
that's what we was asking him. We was say, yo, how do you feel? And we actually a lot because we got a lot of OGs that come on. Like we had Billy Dance come on. We had
I checked.
Taz. We
I
had
seen. I did my research. I seen.
yeah, you know, you had a bunch of people, and that's the one question we ask them more. And people ask me all the time, yo, why do you ask them that? So how do you feel about these artists who ain't doing their homework, who ain't doing they just do to know who paved the way to get to where they are now? Because the benefits that artists are reaping now are happening because of these guys. You know what I mean? So how do you feel about that?
Hey, one of the main things is why you should do your research. That's how you stop from getting jerked. That's the most important part. See, that's what a lot of these kids don't know, because if they knew what it was, if they knew who Tribe Called Quest was, De La Soul was, if they knew who these artists was and what they went through, they would know how they need to look at their paperwork when they first stepping in the game. They should be able to know. That's the most important part about doing your research, is knowing how the game works. The game wasn't just created yesterday. You know what I mean? This shit wasn't created yesterday. So for you to think that you're going to come in and just take control of it whatever way you want, that's foolery. You know what I mean? Like, you got to do the research on it before you step into it. It's like when you buy a car, you got to do your Carfax, right? You got to see where this car been. How does this car work? How does all these things work? You know what I mean? What's the value of it? Like, you know what I mean? So a lot of today, popularity is just so controlling, and fame is so controlling over a lot of the artists, to me, that the OGs aren't even given the time to even give them, because the people that run the labels are pushing the OGs out. There's not a lot of OG artists that have not one slot as an A&R, a VP, a owner, a CEO, or nothing. Why is that?
Right. Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me ask y'all both something. What y'all think about this? How do you feel that now, in order for you to get money, your numbers have to be there? So what I'm saying is, your talent ain't what drives you now to get money and to get known. You know what I mean? It's really, because I was actually watching an interview the other day, and they was asking, dude, yo, how many follows you got on Instagram? He's like, I got 2, whatever. The other guy's like 2, and they was like, so how you got your deal? They was like, well, I had a following. So, and I'm listening to Homeboy's music. I want to check them out. Homeboy's trash, but the following is what opened the door for him. So how do y'all feel about, because Shad's a DJ as well, you know what I mean? And he produces and all this other stuff. So you as an artist and Shad as a DJ, how do y'all feel about that? Like, in order for you to get a bag now, you have to have social media numbers. How do y'all feel about that?
Well, I mean, you want to go first? Go ahead.
Yeah, it sucks because people, it's a popularity contest. No, real talk. Yo, listen, I DJ, and my thing is blends. I
love blend. I love blend.
Shout out to DMU. Yo, I've been there. Yo, I'm from Cali County. Yo, listen, I hit DMU when I used to go get my Dirty Harry joints from there.
Yeah,
like,
Dirty Harry
all my fish and the white labels. Check this out. Before I went to Rock and Soul, they were the only ones that I could go to and get the white labels.
Yeah.
And it was funny because the white labels would just have the songs. So they have like 3 songs.
Yeah.
And no artist, no nothing. Just the name of the song. You got it. And like I said, I'm from Liberty, Newburgh. Anything outside of Newburgh, you get in and get out. So I didn't want to play nothing. I just wanted to grab everything that I needed to grab, and I got home. But when I got home and I bust them down, it was amazing. But like I'm saying, people get opportunities that I don't want to say aren't deserving of, but really don't showcase their ability and their skills based on being popular. We see this with performances. We see this with videos. People run numbers up just to fucking run the numbers up, and then it'd be like everything about it is fugazi, and it's like, yo, you get what I mean? Like 6ix9ine is a prime example. Prime example. They get going, they run the numbers up, and it's because they run the numbers up, he's it. So now,
go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I was about to say, because my main issue with it is that it affects the genre of music the most. Like so like if you're pushing numbers, and the quality ain't good, but you're making it seem like it's good by numbers, like that's what you call manipulation, right? So they're manipulating they're covering bad music with high numbers in a character, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what a lot of these artists are. Like a lot of them is just characters. Like they're like cartoon characters, and they should be in movies or something, being acting stupid or something like that. But they're not truly hip hop artists. I think it affects the quality of music us as hip hop fans get to receive, because if you look back when people used to get deals, you either came into an office and you freestyled maybe 3 joints, or you had a demo that had like 3 or 5 records, and then that'll make them decide if they want to put the money into putting you in a real studio to get a real official joint out, right? Mm-hmm. So if you look at like one group, for instance, that I think about all the time, and then I think about how big they got, is like CNN, right? When CNN got a deal, I think it was like with Penalty Records or whatever, we didn't know who CNN was. I know I didn't.
Yeah.
When I first time I knew who they was watching Rap City or one of them, when I seen the TONY video. Like that was the first one.
I ain't gonna front. When they got signed, because like I said, I'm from the city. So I heard of them. You know what I mean? And I'm like, how the fuck them grimy mo? Like they was really everything they what to call it. When you went to Queens, you like, yo, watch it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
Nah, it's all good. So like, things like that, and then when you see like the quality of music they put out, like that was rough, raw music. That wasn't music you could play on the radio. They didn't have no singles. Right. If it wasn't in New York, TONY was like the only single that made it to maybe the top 100 or whatever to be played, and that was being played on late night with Funk Flex or something. It never was making like in the afternoon, like, you know what I'm saying? So for them to get as big as they got, that's just truly off of good music, because good music gonna sell itself, period. Like you don't need to say it got 1 million streams, because I remember like, reading magazines, it'd be artists in there, and labels used to put those write-ups in the source and be like, oh, million sold or whatever. Like, be like, yo, we ain't even got that. Like, you know what I mean? Like the way the game used to play games like that. So I feel like that's what they're doing now. So with them having control over the DSPs, whether it be Spotify, Tidal Music, Apple Music, they all really embed with each other for the business of the record labels, because it's only like 3 major labels in the game right now. It ain't like it used to be. All them joints is under, they under one umbrella now. So it's like everything is owned by like Universal, Warner, and Sony. Like other than that, you're not getting no distribution unless you're going the real independent route. And that's what I focus on. And I try to tell artists, it's like, yo, if you stick to the independence of yourself, you could be able to bring in, money that you could survive off of, and then create other lucrative businesses outside of that. It don't just got to be, yo, I need that big bag, because with big bag comes a lot of payback, and you got to be willing to be able to get that back.
Also, too, that big bag comes with a lot of responsibility, and everybody ain't responsible, So,
no, you know what fucks me up is that you get these artists, right, and they're like, yo, I want to be, and honestly, just to revert back real quick, that's why we started this platform. It was when we first started, we're like, yo, we got to give these artists this information, right? You know what I mean? They got to know what a PRO is, how to do a trademark, how to sign a contract. So that was the emphasis of it. You know what I mean? As we started doing it, we're like, yo, we got to give more, because people just want to sit here and listen to you, provide information. And then we bringing these artists on for interviews, and I'm asking them questions, and they don't know shit. That shit irked me. And I'm like, yo, how you an independent artist, but you don't know the business? This shit is 90% business, 10% music. It might even be 95 if you really break it down. You know what I mean? So I used to ask artists, like, yo, what's the ISRC? You know what I mean? What's the SRC? What's the IPI? And they look at me like, and I'm like, yo,
all that stuff. If you know your sound scans and you want to get your bread, you need to know all that information. Like, you need to know how it's sold, how it's packaged, where it's coming from, who you got to pay. Like, and for me, it's like, that's why I pay attention. So, luckily, out here, I got some real friends that's like really in the business, you know what I mean? And they teach me a lot of the background stuff. Like, I never was like in a rush to do anything. Like, I'm never in a rush to get a check, because I know if somebody offer you something, most of the time you worth more.
Absolutely.
That's just the rule. That's the rule of negotiation. So, I learned that from Master P. He's like, if they offering me this, why am I signing with them? I might make them, I'll run my own shit. So it's like, as an artist, you got to look at those things, because it's very important, because down the line, you have to be able to account for what you do and where your money goes, and how you control it. So if it's hard enough for you right now to even manage your finances, which it is for a lot of people, you got to think twice when somebody put a check in front of you, even more, you know what I mean? Because it's something that comes with that. Then you read and you look over contracts and all this stuff, and then most of the time, you know, that's why they hone in on young kids today, because most kids don't got money for a lawyer to look at their contract beforehand. They don't have none of that stuff, so it's easy for you to see them numbers on that check and take the first thing you see, and then they give you a lawyer that's working with them, and then they paying you.
Me personally, I don't even think it's the young kids, man. I think people is just. I think right now, man, and it's been like that for a while. Just people don't even give a fuck. They're just gonna be like, "Yo, listen, it's the money."
Oh yeah,
people like there's no, and this is what I'm seeing about like everybody that's out now and all these guys. There's no glory in knowing the business. The only glory is running the numbers up, talking with the stack of money, you know, running around, doing this, doing that. We're just now hitting the era where it's cool to do other things outside of music. You get what I'm saying? Like, look at all the people that we've had as since hip hop that we've seen. The Will Smiths, the LLs, the J.
Run DMC probably was the first. You know, they was the first.
Oh, absolutely.
Adidas deal.
Adidas,
you know, actually going overseas and stuff. Like, and that's what a lot of people. That's why like I probably seen like every hip hop movie in life. You know what I mean? And you got to look at those things of how the business was working and how they do it now. That's why they got 360 deals today. It's because they seen how you could be selling 50,000 records, but if you wearing this so-and-so shirt, or your merch could be going through the roof.
Absolutely.
And they want a piece of that.
You know what's crazy is because I said this on the show the other day, and everybody named Mother was like, "Chris, what the fuck you mean?" I'm like, "Yo, if you really have a fan base and you really out there and you have these so-called numbers that everybody is chasing, a 360 deal is not bad." Yeah. And everybody and their mother was like, "Yo, what you mean?" And I'm like, "Yo, go do your research. Like, understand business. You know what I mean? Like, now you don't got to come out of pocket. These people are funding everything. Like, you know what I mean? All this shit costs money. There's ways that a 360 deal might work, and there's, you know, everybody knows. Everybody knows the bad.
Yeah, it can benefit some artists. Yeah, it all depends on what you want from the game too. And like, you know, if you looking to run your own businesses and do all those things, 360 probably ain't gonna work for you. But if you looking to make money and just be a person that they just call on to come do this and come do that, and you got your money and you know you're gonna be able to pay it back, however, and they're gonna keep lending you these big ass funds, then yeah, go that route. It's less work for you. You know, but if you willing to put in the work, see, I'm a type of person, I like to go in with the work. And that kind of comes from, you know, the hustle mind state is like, I like to put my money in, buy mine's whole, and break it down.
Your own work, if you fuck it up, it's on you. Yeah,
I ain't really with all that give me a pack stuff. Like,
you know it's crazy because when I told them, I'm like, well, Nikki started with a 360 deal. No, she didn't. I'm like, go do your fucking research. Like, you gotta know how to manipulate this system, because this whole industry is not designed for us to win as independent and entrepreneurs, and especially as minorities. You know what I mean? Like, this shit, the people who control this umbrella are not us. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know how to manipulate this system and able to make some money. Like, shout out Tech. You know what I mean? One of the independent artists that killed it. He understood the business. He understood marketing. He understood branding. You know what I mean? And he took off and he makes hella money and don't have to give nobody anything. But before we get you out of here, I seen a rumor, or I might have heard a rumor on Instagram that this your last album.
Nah, like I said, I'm dropping like 3. I'm kind of putting music, well, not the rapping part, just to the side. I'm getting more heavier into production. I'm working with a lot of artists right now, and I'm trying to do more on the business side. I got my hat line starting, which is Elite Crowns, which is gonna be dropping next month. So, you know, right now I'm focusing on different ways to create revenue because what people got to understand, you know, being an artist, it's a major investment into yourself, especially independently. Like if you want to be consistent, and I'm not somebody that asks for things from people. You know what I mean? Like I go in, I pay for my studio time, I pay for my videos, I pay for my wardrobe, I pay for my haircut, I pay for my traveling to other states, other cities to see what's good. So, you know, I try to do things on my own, and with knowing that in the business, dropping albums and stuff, you know, with the stream game today, in the way that the game is moved, like you got to have a bag behind you to push it forward the right way. Like, you know what I mean? To get the promotion that you need, you got to have money to pay for promotion. And it's always been like that, but you start to see it more as you start to look at the books and how you spend your money and how you look at the artists that made it. You know, most of them got somebody behind them with a big bag. So that's why you have situations like Megan Thee Stallions. Yeah, she was signed early to somebody else that had a big bag, and then you want to negotiate with something with another label. Now you still owe that person that started you off with that bag. They started you with the opportunity. So now you paying 3 and 4 people instead of just one, because you want to be more, you want more lucrative opportunities. You want to be on the big stage. So people got to look at that. That's part of the game. So when you investing into yourself, you don't got to worry about those things. You got to concentrate on just building your brand, you know, making sure you making money off your music, your merch, whatever it is that you choose to do business off of, and you can make it happen for yourself that way. Not everybody gonna be a millionaire. I'm good with being a thousandaire. You hear me? If I could bring in 200, 300K a year, I'm straight. You hear me? I'm good. Some people may think, oh, that ain't nothing. Hey, listen. They don't. Some of your biggest artists, some of the biggest artists is bringing that home, and they doing $1 million deals. You feel what I'm saying? Ownership is important. Ownership is important.
Yeah. So now, G, we appreciate the time.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, you taking out, chopping it up with us. We definitely got to do this again, because we ain't even touched the ice on everything. Because like I said, I've been doing my research. I was asking Jor's questions and shit. I was actually tapping into your music. So that's why when I heard you say that, I'm like, damn, I just started listening to him. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Even though I could go back, you know what I mean? But I like to watch the journey. You know what I'm saying? I'm always that type of person.
I got a lot coming though. Even before the year is up, I'm dropping. I got 3 projects I'm dropping before December. So like I got a lot lined up. I'm still gonna be on records and stuff, but I'm just like taking a little bit of time back and just getting into the production thing, because I think like for me it could be a lot more lucrative. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at a lot of younger artists, and I'm honest with my shit. You know what I'm saying? I put in a lot of time in this game. So like as far as the running around, trying to be here performing and doing this, like, you know, that's cool, but I rather focus on some other things too right now, you know, and watching other people flourish their dreams too, and being a part of that, you know, on the production side. So I want to do that. But I got so for everybody, you know, the one-on-one video is available now on YouTube. Make sure you get that. The link is on my IG in my bio. I'm working on 2 albums. I got the 5th Power coming. The actual one-on-one is on my Brick and Mortar album that's coming. That's actually an EP that I did with my man Al Baden, which is he from Brooklyn or whatever. You know, he produced the whole album. I produced my whole album. It's gonna be a 2-sided double album. It's called Fear. What's it called? Fearwell, the 5th Power is gonna be the second half. So it's a 2-piece project. So look forward to that, and just tap in with me. You know what I mean?
How y'all got it too? Yo, listen. You're going to have to come back and explain that one. So you do your project. His project. I don't even want to get into it because I got 1,000,001 questions.
You can get into it.
Listen, when you drop the hats, when you do the hat venture, we're going to bring you back on. And that's going to be where we're going to pick up at.
All right, I got you.
All right, I got you.
Thank you, man. One love. You heard?
You all right?
Appreciate your time, my G.
Easy. Nah, that was super dope, man. Damn, yo, homie said he produced his project. Dude produced their project, and it's a double project. How many songs do you think that?
That's I don't know, but it's very smart. Because they combine their network. Like I tell people all the time, your network will build your net worth. You know what I mean? Let me say that again. Your network will build your net worth. You know what I mean? A lot of these people right now who are supposedly getting this, like I heard this kid say the other day, yo, I'm out here getting the bag. So a lot of your network is going to help you get your net worth. You know what I mean? And when the kid said that shit about the bag, I'm like, yo, you can get the bag because I don't want the bag. You know what I mean? I want the bank. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's bigger than that. You know what I mean? And I don't want it personally. I want it for for the generational wealth of it. You know what I mean? And shout out to No Edit for taking the time out, chopping it up with us. You know what I mean? We got one more video though to play before we get out of here. Then we're gonna wrap this up. So don't forget, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Blazing My Radio. The show re-airs there. Next week we will start on RWS Radio. Thursday nights the show will air there. So the show will air 3 times 1 week, this one episode. So any artist, anybody we got interviewing, anybody who's running promo on the show, anybody who's sponsoring the show, you get heard and seen 3 times in 1 week. You know what I mean? 3 different platforms as well. Oh, don't forget about YouTube. So 4 platforms. So it's pretty dope. You know what I mean? The exposure is good.
Now. So,
yeah, we actually, right now. So let's play this last joint, then we wrap it up because we got some shit to talk about before we get out of here real quick.
All right, you already know DJ RecBoys. Shout out to homie Chris in the studio. Don't move.
Yeah.
He flexing bands for the gram. Oh, that nigga told that shit, man. Oh, she acting bad on OnlyFans. Oh, she want the perkies in them Zans. He flexing bands for the gram. Oh, that nigga told that shit, man. Oh, she acting bad on OnlyFans. Oh, she want the perkies in them Zans. Ew, Henny and perks made me come alive. They fit the pistol in his skin, he's got a bigger size. Big steps, we don't walk the same. Smoke a headband, I feel like Bron James. I sip the Henny, take a shot of wop. A big step, song Diddy Bop. Goes in, little bitches funny when I talk. She ate the dick and the perk at the same time. Got the head with my other hoe on FaceTime. Started with a 4, but I just didn't do it. So I dropped 2 threes, I feel like Patrick Ewing. Yeah. Baby, watch him deep and careful when you chew it. That nigga mad about his bitch. Oh, shit. I might go back to hitting licks. Oh, shit. I might go back to flipping bricks. Oh, I'm Dennis Rodman with the pick. Oh, I go get her, bitch, I go get it. Where's the pot, I need more spinach. I'm looking for them perkies, I'm the perky scout. Yeah, I popped the timber with the 30s bout. She a nasty little bitch, she a freak hoe. I ain't tryna lay up, just freak throw. Me and these niggas, we just ain't the same. He told and you with him pinky in the brain. I'ma whip the pot until I break something. You been trapping all day and you ain't make nothing. I'ma whip the pot until I break something. You been trapping all day and you ain't make nothing. He bands for the gram. Oh, shit. That nigga told that shit, man. Oh, shit. She acting bad on OnlyFans. Oh, shit. She want the perkies in them Zans. He flexing bands for the gram. Oh, that nigga told that shit, man. Oh, she acting bad on OnlyFans. Oh, she want the perkies in them Zans. Oh, shit. That nigga got all that. That nigga told that flexing bands for the bitch.
What's good, my peoples? You already know DJ RecBoys. Shout out to homie Chris in the studio. We back at it. That was the homie Peso Pack. Oh shit! What you guys thought about that?
I don't know. Like I'm on the fence with that one.
I liked it.
I like the feel. I like the feel of it. I gotta hear it a couple more times. I like the energy. You know what I mean? The hook was okay. You know what I mean? I gotta hear it again. I'm on the fence the first time hearing it. So you guys know we don't listen to these videos, especially the ones that got sent that sent to us via email or inbox or stuff like that. We don't listen to it beforehand because we like to get we want y'all to get the feedback right then and there. So I definitely got to go back to test that one again. I like the energy. I would have liked to see more in the video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What you thought before we start wrapping this up? What you thought?
I like the energy. When I first clicked it, I thought it was kind of dope. I think it was you could tell it's some guys trying to get on. So I like the fact that they didn't go too crazy. I think they could have did a little bit more.
Right.
but they didn't go too crazy. Like I said, I like the energy. I like how it popped off. It was nothing major though. Nothing to where, you know what I'm saying? But it was a good introduction, you know.
Yeah.
At least now we know what to look out for. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So
No, definitely, like I said, I'm intrigued. For me, when I hear music, and you know, it makes me either not want to hear that shit again, you know what I mean, or it makes me want to go back to it to, you know, to see, you know what I mean. And if you get me to go back to it, that means somehow, some way you know, you spark my interest. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely sparked my interest. I want to go back and listen to that again. You know what I mean? I don't want to be biased and say, yo, that's really not my thing. But first off, hearing it, the energy was good. You know what I mean? The hook for me was a little. I would have liked a little bit more to it. You know what I mean? A little something else to it. You know what I mean? I don't want to judge the verses or the tracks like that until I hear it again. You know what I mean? Because like I said, the energy was there, which made me want to go hear it again. You know what I mean? So real quick, for everybody who's tuned in, this Friday we had Gossip Viv. She's coming on the show. It's gonna be live in the studio with the RecBoys, 7 p.m. Make sure y'all tune in for that. It's gonna be crazy. She works on This Is 50. She's been on VH1. She's an author. So much, like, you know what I mean. And for me, I'm excited about this one personally because, yeah, I want to interview her. I want to ask her some questions, but I really want to pick her brain, right? You know what I mean? Because we kind of like in the same, you know, in the same on the same highway. You know what I mean? She might be way ahead of me, but we on the same highway, right? And I kind of, you know, I'm like noetic. I like to ask questions so I could gain information. You know what I mean? So for me, that's what this interview is really about. And I told her that straight off the jump, like, yo, yeah, I want to interview you. I want to get to know you, but I really want to learn. You know what I mean? And that was the whole sense of, you know, the whole podcast in the general. We wanted, you know, we learning from you guys as you guys are learning from us. We sharing information as far as shows, opportunities, introducing you to producers, different artists coming with events, different type of events and stuff like that, right? So that was the whole, you know, premises of the show. Then we got 14th of October. We got the momager coming on. You know what I mean? The hoodie's mother. You know what I mean? It's only right we reached out to the OG and got the OG on the show. You know what I mean? Because if it wasn't for the OG, it wouldn't be no hoodies, right?
Nah, not only that, but
yeah, you know what? My bad. I don't want to cut you off. I'm gonna let you get right back to that. Since the homie Dan Knight's been commenting on the show, right? He's been supporting on the show. I'm gonna send you his joint so we can leave. So we can end the joint. We can end the show tonight with that joint.
Yo, listen, don't be sending me no extra work, nigga.
Nah. Yo, listen. When you got people who put in, he's been here all night, been commenting all night, been supporting, sharing, all type of shit. You gotta show the love, and it's not like, you know,
you put it in my inbox,
like tit for tat, putting that right now. It's not like, nah, I'm sending it right now. Yo, I don't play no games. I'm on it, my man. So it's not, it's not like that. You know what I mean? The homie's consistent, and shout out to him. So we're gonna get that. But so my bad. Say what you're saying about the momager, so I can let everybody else know everything.
Oh no, that's listen. They definitely need to tune in for that because, like you said, she bought us the hoodies, and if it wasn't for her, you know, we wouldn't have them. So, nah, definitely tune into that. That's gonna be super dope. That's gonna be a dope show because any moms out there, if your kids rap, tune in. She'll let you know. She'll let you know. No, real talk. She'll let you know whether or not that's a thing you should pursue, or if you really want to get into that, because she's gonna tell you it's not easy, you know. Right. But
so hold on real quick. Then we got author Molly Rainey, 21st of October. She's got about like 13 books out right now. Single mother out here grinding. You know what I mean? We gotta bring her on the show. We got her coming on the show. So for all my authors, y'all would definitely want to be tuned in then. So to let everybody know, like, we not no one-trick ponies. Like, we just don't go to artists, you know what I mean? We're looking for businessmen. We're looking for producers. We're looking for entrepreneurs. We're looking for people. We're looking for the independent grinders. Like, that's what this is about. You know what I mean? Bring them to the forefront. Then the 28th, we got the concert. We already spoke about that a little bit earlier on in the show. If you missed that, get the playback. Check it out Saturday night on Blazing My Radio. Hear it there. That's going to be crazy. I've been working real hard on that. We might have some surprises. We don't know yet. I'm not gonna let the cat out the bag. Then November 4th, we got the 845 Mix Show. DJ Duwa on the show. That's gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? That's gonna be crazy. Then we got November 11th. We got In the Field Radio. We got Finally TV. We got Two Humble Productions.
Hold up. Don't mean to cut you off. But they were Dash said that we might have to open up the invite to the 845 mixtape show. I don't.
Yeah, we're gonna see how it turns out. Because I was already thinking about that, but I kind of want to, you know, I like before. It was crazy because how we built with all these different platforms and these podcasts and these FM radio shows. Where we kind of had them on our show already. We build a rapport, you know, as we was following them and supporting them. We build we kind of build a conglomerate of different people who do different, you know, again on the same highway but do different things. You know what I mean? So, by the 11th after we bring Doo on, we'll never know. He might be back on a week after that.
Nice.
You know? So we see how that works out. And then November 18th, we got Alfox Media out of Orlando, New York. They do production. They do engineering. They rent studio time. Mainly, he really focuses on reggaeton artists, Spanish artists, but he does do, you know, hip hop as well. You know what I mean? So that's going to be a little different to bring to the show as well, which is going to be dope. Then December, I got 4 more people for December. Let's just say that. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to get too far with the promotion.
Yeah.
So if you tuned in, you're looking for an interview, man. The open dates we have is January. Start booking now. It's gonna start. It's gonna go. It's gonna start going. You know what I mean? And we're gonna be bringing celebrities in and out throughout all that. You know what I mean? So that's our time, right? We're gonna end the joint with the homie from Dan Nice. Don't forget Saturday night, 8 p.m. Blazing My Radio. Catch us there next week. Catch us 7 p.m. live right here on Facebook. It also goes to YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube page, In the Studio with the RecBoys. Like the page on Facebook, In the Studio with the RecBoys. Check us out on Instagram, Catch Your Rec Entertainment, INC. And next week we will be on RWS Radio. So that's right, you already heard it. The show will air 3 times in 1 week: Wednesday night, Thursday night, and Saturday night. So you already know what it is. We on this mission to catch rec. It's not going to stop. We out here pushing for all the independent grinders. So if you know anybody out here, you know, independently run, independently operated, about their business, about their P's and Q's, tell them to tap in with the RecBoys.
You already know that's our time for this week. We're going to go out with the homies. They've been chilling with us all day, so it's only right. But until next week, we out, all right? Deuces. Enjoy.
Brothers got crossed up, cracked down, they packed houses. The jail was home for brothers trafficking drugs in their trousers. Spoke on it, I was that dumb about some years ago. It's incredible vibes, brought in Janae Aika flow. Clientele so vocal, bitches been singing it overtime. I was the water main hustler with a broken line. Can't keep a real one down, that number standing. This is for the hoodies from the Ville, they made a landing. This the type of results you get from prior planning. Streets want the drama, cause the drama come with cannon. It used to be the malt liquor, rush me to the vault quicker. Run to the bank with the hammer and watch the wall flicker. Took 1,000,000 shots to my brain, found the real gold. Swept the burden off to the side, found the real soul. Hold that, fucking troll, lil rat. All that bullshit you did to me's about to come back. It's all facts, I took notes during the bar show. P, notes on the paper like a barcode. Gotta have it, motherfucker, fly like a paper plane. Blue faces make the world move while we shake the game. Shake the game, 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 shake the game. Get to the money. Get to the money either way. Yeah. Keep them little niggas out my way. Out my way. Me no pay no mind on what they say. When they talking about the bread coming no delay. No, hold up, no way, no way. No, hold up, no way, not a day. No, hold up, no way, don't play. E-notes, E-T, ooh-way.
Recording live, notes, Uni and Lega. We came to lock it down. True lyrical savages run, cause we ain't fucking round. This 16 clip big ready to spit around. This lyricism all in our veins. You die without a sound. This rap shit we attached with, that mean we bound. Spill your thought train like we pour Henny out on the ground. blunt so loud they scream. We smoke 'em by the pound. Raps Mo Rivera, Bronx savior when I'm on the mound. You clowns, that bag talk is a different sound. When you jet set in the world, becoming world renowned. Pounds, euros, and yen come from all around. Anybody slowing that up, they laying on the ground.
Get to the money either way. Keep them little niggas out my way. Me no pay no mind on what they say. When they talk about the bread, come with no delay. No, hold up, no way, no way. No, hold up, no way, not a day. No, hold up, no way, don't play. E-nuts, E-T,
Listen,
away.
yeah. The golden child of the Bronx, I'm who they favorite is. Look up the definition right now. I'm what the savior is. Wake up and get that money. I don't play with it. My gun is my roommate now. That mean I stay with it. Don't violate and think that I'ma be okay with it. I'ma be spinning your block the same day with it. You fucking bad bitches, but I bet they make you pay for it. I have her in the telly for free and make you wait for it. I'm lion-hearted, still in the jungle with the goons. Got a short temper, don't get this humble shit confused. Instead of watching niggas hustle, you should fucking hustle too to make a couple bands. All I do is bust a couple moves. Take shit for granted, did a lot of things to get by. It was either or, couldn't get the wings with the french fries. Now it's Del Frisco, $200 ribeyes. Shopping on 5th, it get different when your chips rise. Barsha.